for her beautiful song. Over to you, Mangla ma'am.
Yeah, thank
Warm
you, sir.
welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste, masters. Good morning. Omkaram Bindu Samyuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yoginah. Omkaram Bindu Samyuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yoginah. Kamadam Mokshadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namah. Omkaraya Namo Namah. Omkaraya Namo Namah. Shri Anantaya Namaho. Om Namo Namaho. Shri Anantaya Namaho. Sundaraya Namaho. Suravanditaya Namaho. Sundaraya Namaho. Suravanditaya Namaho. Om Namo Namaho. Shri Anantaya Namaho. Sundaraya Namaho. Suravanditaya Namaho. Sundaraya Namaho. Suravanditaya Namaho. Ramaya Namaho. Krishnaya 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 Namaho. Om Namo Namaho. Shri Anantaya Namaho. Om Namo Namaho. Shri Anantaya Namaho. Sundaraya Namaho. Suravanditaya Namaho. Sundaraya Namaho. Suravanditaya Namaho. Om Namo Namaho. Shri Anantaya Namaho. Shri Anantaya Namo. Shri Anantaya Namo.
Thank you so much, Mangla ma'am. That was so beautiful. We have been missing you all these days. Thankfully, you're back. All right, let's move on, friends. I now invite Shibu to take forward the meditation session. Shibu, over to you.
Sure. Thank you, Sunil. First of all, Mangala ma'am, that was beautiful. So happy to see you back and back in APS. We have all been missing you, as Sunil said. So again, friends, no better way to start our meditation than this, right? It's a beautiful song. Now, let's start our meditation. As usual, let's start our meditation with deep gratitude. We know the procedure. Everybody who is wearing specs, kindly please remove that. Sukhasana. Let's relax the body and have a very comfortable seating posture. Clasp your hands. Cross your feet or legs if you're sitting on the floor. Most importantly, my dear friends, close your eyes. Now we are disconnecting from the outer world. It's our inner journey now. Let's be with our breath. Start our meditation. Let's drop all the mental burdens. It's nothing to do now, just being with the breath. Let's drop all the expectations. Let's take a few moments. See if there is any tension in the body. Key is the body needs to be absolutely relaxed. Once the body is relaxed, the mind will start relaxing too. Just need to go back to the breath. Relax every cell in the body. Just be with your normal, natural breath. Breath is our best friend. Let's be with our best friend. Inhale. Exhale. Just be with the breath. No doing. Breath happens on its own. Just observe the breath. No visualizations. Just be with the breath. Let's not go with the thoughts. Let's come back to our normal, natural breath. Anapanasati. Let's continue being with our breath, dear friends. Normal, natural, easy flow of breath. Last 10 minutes. Slowly come back, dear friends. Please take your time. Please bring your awareness to your body. Whenever you're ready, unclasp your hands. Place the fingers on your eyes for 5 to 10 seconds. Open your eyes whenever you're ready. Thank you, dear friends.
Thank you so much, Shibu. That was
Thank you,
really
Sunil.
deep and wonderful. I don't know if it is your voice, the music, the timely instructions, everything was so beautiful. It really, I'm sure, it touched everyone and everybody had very good meditation. Thank you very much.
Thanks to everyone.
So, friends, let's get into the knowledge session. So, today, rather this week, we are going to touch base upon a lot of amazing and beautiful topics, very, very important topics. To begin with, today, we're going to, I'm sure you would remember, we had a brief session on domestication, which Sampath had taken. We all undergo a lot of domestication process, and we all create book of laws for ourselves based on the belief system that we carry, etc. Now, there is a way to come out of the domestication, and that's nothing but the 4 agreements. So today, Shubhu is going to take us through this wonderful concept called the 4 agreements, which is so very, very important. So over to you, Shubhu.
Thank you, Sunil. Sunil, can you see my screen?
Yes, Shubhu, it's visible.
Okay. All right, dear friends. So as Sunil mentioned, we had discussed about domestication, essentially how as kids, we are dependent on the parents, right? We understood from them what is acceptable and not acceptable. So essentially, we were domesticated by our parents, our friends, or even society. So we have made many unconscious agreements. So these agreements essentially formed our belief systems. So we created a book of law, and based on that, we started playing the judge and the victim. So with this, we started causing pain and suffering for us and for others. Essentially, we started fitting in to that make-believe world, to that belief system. So we went away from our true self. So as Sunil mentioned, to come out of this, there is a way, essentially designing our future, to come out of that fear-based domestication to a life which is based on the truth. There is a way, and that is the 4 agreements. This is from the book, which is 4 Agreements by Don Miguel. It is based on Mexican wisdom. We've been practicing this, and it's profound, absolutely works. So let's look at the 4 agreements. First, be impeccable with your word. Second, don't take anything personally. Third, don't make assumptions. Fourth, always do your best. Let's look at each of these one by one. Impeccable. The word means without sin. That's the word meaning. And what is sin? Sin is anything which we do, which goes against us, against ourselves or others. That's a sin. So essentially, what this means is use the word in the direction of truth. So we'll do a deep dive on this today, later on. Second is, don't take anything personally. So nothing others do or say is because of us. What others say or do is rather a projection of their own reality. Once we understand that, we don't have to take anything personally. Again, we'll do a deep dive on this tomorrow. Don't make assumptions. So if we look at it, everything which we do, mostly everything which we do, we make a lot of assumptions without even realizing it. We don't ask questions, we just assume. So that's also a block on the expression. So we'll again do a deep dive tomorrow. The fourth. This is the fourth one. And we're actually going to start here because this is the enabler. This is the one which will deepen our practice of all the other agreements as well. So let's look at this. Fourth agreement is always do your best. No more, no less. Our best keeps changing from moment to moment. Right? What our best was yesterday is not going to be our best right now. And it's also based on the circumstances and a lot of other factors. Right? When we are fresh in the morning, we have a lot more energy, and our best might not be the same later in the evening or at night when we are tired. So our best is something which is a point in time at that moment now, at that moment. So it should not be based on the past memory. Right? You can always say, oh, I used to do this. I used to do this much at this time. No, but right now, this moment, what is your best? That's what we need to do. Or I have to do this. It could be, or a future imagination, right? Something which is in the future, which we think about. I have to do this. What will they think? Things like that. So always remember, we have to do the best, our best, no more, no less. Same concept, to not overdo, to not do less. If we overdo, then we are depleting our own body energies, right? We are going against ourselves. So this will only make our goal farther away from us. It will just take us more time to accomplish it because we are pushing ourselves. We are just overdoing. And if we do less, that will cause self-judgment, frustration, guilt, regrets. Here is the key thing. We might think, okay, so who is going to know that we haven't done our best? There is always a witness. We know that we didn't do our best. We will judge. We know that. Nobody else might have noticed it. There is nobody else to answer to, but our own self is there. We know that we didn't do our best, which means judgment, bondage, clinging. We're just adding new karma. So the next is do the best, do our best, drop the expectation of the reward. So doing the best means we're taking the action, right, because we love to do this, not because we are expecting a certain reward. Expecting a reward, as we also saw a couple of slides before, is a future imagination. Let's take an example. Let's say if we are volunteering or doing a service, what is driving us for this? It's essentially because we love to do this. This is what we love. We want to do this. We are not doing this because there is an expectation of a reward. It's just the joy of service, just the joy, just the love. We might be working hard, but is there any tension or ease? No, there is no stress, because this is just the joy of working, joy of doing. So in this state, it's always doing the best without an expectation of a reward. The rewards might come, right? Might come, but there is no attachment to the reward. So what does this give us? The freedom, right? So we are taking responsibility and we are acting. Only by doing the best, we'll get that freedom. So we saw that there is always judgment. Right? We are always judging. So when that judge asks us, did we do our best? Yes, we all absolutely did our best. Right? That's the answer. So that frees us from any judgment. So it is not what others expect from us. It could be any situation. So maybe somebody expected a lot more from us. It doesn't really matter, because as long as we did our personal best at that point in time, there is no more judgment, there is no more clinging or karma, because we did what we could have done at that point in time, our personal best. This also drives and increases our acceptance, right? The freedom and the acceptance. As we practice this, we will see that this will love that free state. So now, with this understanding that we always have to do our best, let's look at the first agreement, which is be impeccable with the word. Out of the 4 agreements, this is the most important one. And with practice, we can transform our life and create new reality. We can absolutely break all the previous unconscious agreements by making this one new agreement, which is always being impeccable with our word. The word meanings we looked at earlier. So let's start. What is word? Word is God's supreme gift to us. It's the creative power. It's how we express ourselves. It's how we manifest the intent. So it's also magic, which means it's also a weapon. Word is a weapon, it's power. It's how we manifest our intents. Since it is an intent, it can be either ways, right? The choice is always ours as to how to use the word. We can use the word in the direction of misuse. We can misuse the word. So that's where we create black magic, cause destruction, wounding others with our word, right? Somebody is walking by, we can tell them, oh, you look so ugly. That's misuse of the word, hurting others, wounding others, destroying things around you. It just creates a false sense of pride, creates a living hell. Just to kind of understand this a little bit more, let's take an example. There was this case where a working mom, she had a rough day in office. So she was already having a tough time at work and she was having headache. And then she gets back home. She has a little daughter, small daughter at home. The daughter obviously is joyful. And she is in her own world. She is very joyful. The mom gets back home and wants to just rest, get some rest. But the girl is obviously happy. I mean, she's in her own world. She starts singing. The mom was not at all in that state, right? She was in, I just want some rest, just want some peace of mind, quiet. So when the girl starts singing, she says, You got such a stupid voice. Keep quiet. At that moment, the little girl accepted it. The mom obviously didn't want to use or create black magic on her own daughter, right? But at that moment, that instant, that's what she did. She said, her voice is not good. The little girl started believing that. That changed her whole belief system, character. She won't open up. She became very quiet. She always started believing that she has such an ugly voice. She can't sing anymore. So as you can see, the mom applied black magic. On the other side, we have the impeccable, which is pure white magic. It's the creational side. And this is healing, uplifting. It's the correct use of energy in the direction of truth and love. And if there is a heaven, it's here. It's created by the impeccability of the word. We always had these instances where when we were down, somebody, could be our mom, parents, teachers, somebody used the word to uplift us. When we were down, used the word. Could be just a simple, it is okay, that acceptance. That's pure white magic. So we talked about black magic. Gossip is the black magic at its worst. So we know in our family gatherings, marriage parties, this happens a lot, right? So we gossip about people who are not there. We'll talk about somebody, oh, they were trying to do this, they were trying to do that, about people who are not there, not just in parties. Happens in office, right? So we'll have our small gang which as we try to fit in, we just start gossiping, right? We start talking about our boss or talking about people who are not there. So this is the one where the self-respect goes down, right? We are gossiping about others. Again, the person about whom we are talking might not be listening to this, but we are the witness. Our own self-respect goes down. We know what we have done. We know that. So gossip is the way we communicate to each other, the stream of hell. So we do this to fit in, to appear cool and self-righteous. So mind, we've been looking at mind for a while. So we know mind is a fertile ground, right? It's up to us to pick up what we want to sow. It's up to pick up the seeds. So do we want to sow the seeds of love or the seeds of fear or doubt? Just look at those images on the right and on the left. The seeds of fear, the self-rejection, biggest sin, death, judging, being in the victim mode, gossip. Those are all seeds of fear. On the right hand side, on the left hand side, you'll see the seeds of love. It's pure white magic, self-love, life, taking responsibility for our actions. No blaming or judging. Not self, not others. An expression of the self. Again, look at the picture, dear friends. There is always a choice. So again, we have to go back to the why. Why should we do this? As we started, breaking the spell. So we have made a lot of unconscious agreements. It's based on our society, based on what we have been taught. We have a lot of these agreements. So this one agreement, making sure that we always speak the truth, we are always impeccable, will break the spell, will break the previous spell on us. It gives us the personal freedom. This is the truth. The truth will set us free. Our own self-respect, and self-respect goes up, or self-love. Immunity, because we are not gossiping about others, right? We're not doing any gossip, we're not creating any black magic, which actually gives us the immunity, which gets us the shielding. Our own willpower, which also goes up, right? Because now we are not using the word against self or the others. So our own willpower goes up. Again, it controls the unwanted thoughts. So this is one more thing which we can practice. So the thoughts is something which we cannot consciously stop, but we can stop the words. We can stop all those unwanted words. We can keep practicing this. As we keep practicing this, we will see that those thoughts also come down. That's a way which we have to practice. And by practice, we can see this. Most important thing, what should we do? Meditate, which we have been doing. We have been practicing meditation. The intent, the simple intent that I will be impeccable with my word. Be truthful. Be conscious about what we are speaking. Be conscious of our word. It's a responsibility. We understand the power. Right? We understand the power we have. We are gods. We are creators. Use the word responsibly. Always, always mean what we say. Never gossip. So we understood what that means. Never, never gossip. Exercise of self-control. Be an empathic listener. Practice gratitude, which we have been doing, and embracing silence. And we'll talk about that. Sampath will talk about that. If you want to look at a metric, are we progressing? The metric here is always the increasing self-love. That's the metric or a measure of impeccability. And now if we are practicing it, we'll see that self-love increasing. We'll naturally feel more joyful and at peace. Remember, friends, we always have a choice. Let's make that conscious choice, right? From this moment onwards. We will always do our best to be impeccable with our word. Thank you, dear friends. Back to you, Sunil.
Thank you, Shibu. I'll now invite Sampath to give his thought about silence. Sampath, over to you.
Thank you. That was a beautiful session, Shibu. Sunil, am I audible?
Yes, Sampath.
Yeah. We have 5 minutes, so I'll quickly talk about the importance of silence. But before talking about silence, we should understand that word and thought are the same. Thought in the sound form is word. So if you are able to create silence with words, then that's when you are able to go to a thoughtless state. That's how the word, the silence and the space are linked. So that's why we say when we sit for meditation, first be in silence, only then you will be able to connect to a thoughtless space. And that space is the source of it. So to create that space, silence is very, very, very important. And in general life, there are a lot of situations where, you have negative situations. And while reacting, you should be very conscious. So wherever you come across a situation where you are about to react, it's better you be in silence, because silence stops us from doing the further damage. And silence and meditation are such a wonderful combination. They stop the further damage, and meditation shields you from such things happening in our reality. So in silence, when you are in silence, the energy stops draining, which we don't even observe. Every day, a lot of energy goes out in our words, in our thoughts. But when you are in silence, that energy starts making you more aware and conscious. You will start seeing thoughts more carefully, and you will prioritize the thoughts, and you will cut unwanted thoughts. All that happens naturally with the help of silence. So you don't have to do that. So just be in silence for some time in a day or weekly one day, and you will know that the awareness that is added to this energy that you already have, that will help you to create beautiful things. And that's what is conscious creation all about. So, and coming to this fourth agreement, doing the best. One thing I wanted to say is best is not perfection. Some people think that best is perfection. So remember, there's nothing called perfection. Everything is always in the state of becoming. Today, if you call yourself perfect, that doesn't mean you are better tomorrow. No, you are always in the state of becoming. So at any given point of time, just do your best without defining the best. You should know that you're giving the best, that's all. And do it for the sake of doing it, and don't bring the results. Don't think of the results, because the moment you think of the results while doing it, your focus from the present moment goes to the future moment, and that spoils the present moment effort. So, and to bring out the best in life, always keep the best possible goal, biggest possible goal. That's one way to bring out the best from ourselves every moment. And coming to giving our best, we all have an evening catch up, 5 minutes. We all meet this team, Sunil, myself, Shivu, and Sinisha. We only remind ourselves of one fourth agreement. That's all. Let's be pure in the intent. Let's be clear in our thought and word, and let's be in the present moment. And that is best. So, and that gives us at the end of every session, we feel very good. Even sometimes, even after giving the best, we'll still have some complaints. Somebody is not happy with something, but we have given our best, so we are already free. So even if we get a lot of praises, if we know that we could have covered some topic and we didn't do it that day, or we didn't do it well, we are not free. So doing our best is always for us, not to satisfy anyone else. And thank you, Mangla Madam, for coming back. And today it is so relevant, that song about Om. Om is nothing but all sounds put together from A till Ma. All sounds put together is Om. So it was so nice to see your song about Om. And sorry to hear about the death of the family member. But still, you came back. Thank you so much. Thanks for the song. That's all. That's it from my side.
Thank you so much, Sampath, and thank you so much, Shibu, for that wonderful explanation about the four agreements, and also a beautiful narration about silence. Very important takeaway. Sampath, we have a couple of questions related to today's topic. I would like to ask that. Yeah. So one question is, could you please suggest few books on silence? Are there any books on silence? I'm also curious.
There is going to be a Swadhyaya session after a couple of days. It's all about importance of reading the books, and we will talk about a few books on that day.
Okay, great. Can I practice silence for half a day also? Tarun has asked this question.
Don't practice silence, be in silence, speak when required.
Wow, that's a beautiful explanation. Dr. Jia had this question. Does positive empathizing words or speech drain or conserve or enhance our energy?
Empathy is required, but we should do it without connecting the chords. Like sometimes it turns into sympathy and you connect to the person. So you have to be very careful. There is a book called Empath's Survival Guide. We will share it. Please go through that book. It talks a lot about empathy and the kind of energy vampires that we need to shield ourselves from. It's a beautiful book on this topic.
Yeah, so Dr. G has again further clarified the question. My question is about comparison between silence and positive communication.
Positive communication is impeccable, being impeccable with the word and speaking to the point, which makes sense without wastage of energy. Yes, silence gives you that state of awareness where you can do the positive communication. So silence is different, communication is different, but silence helps.
Thank you, Sampath. Well, I'll take one last question asked earlier by Neha. It's on music. I am not able to meditate with the music, without without the music. So I could focus on, okay, without, so let me, sorry, I was just trying to jump up. Let me read it again. I am not able to meditate with the music. Without the music, I could focus on the breath for some time. What should I do?
Comfort, that's the rule. If you are comfortable without music, do it without music. But also have this question, what exactly in the music is disturbing you? There's nothing to disturb. It's a pleasant music. You can choose to ignore. If we sit outside in nature, there'll be a lot of birds, a lot of trees, there'll be a lot of sounds, but we don't recognize that as a disturbance. So before you call it a disturbance, observe that side of you which is labeling it as a disturbance. But you can always choose to meditate without music.
Great. Thank you very much, Sampath. I think that ends all our questions for today. So we're going to end the session today. Thank you so very much, beautiful masters, participants out there. And thank you so much, Shibu, Sampath, everyone, for taking forward this journey. We have end today, the day 15, beautiful learning information. We'll carry forward this energy to tomorrow, to day 16. Until then, have a nice day. Bye-bye.